We will start with number 10, the 10th best team in the NFL, staying right smack dab where they were a week ago. It is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are the 10th best team in the National Football League, and here is why. So that win against the Giants, if you heard me rant about 30 minutes ago, is exactly why I don't trust this Eagles team. Love the offense. Offensive personnel is excellent. I still believe in Jalen Hurts. Offensive line's amazing. Weapons are great. Running game's great with DeAndre Swift. Dude, new offensive coordinator's done a solid job. Not as good as Shane Steichen in Indianapolis, but has done a good job. This defense is nothing short of atrocious. And in the last month, they've been darn near unwatchable. 42 points given up to San Francisco. 33 points given up to Dallas. Not that many points, barely 20 points given up against the Seattle Seahawks, but a 92-yard drive with under 2 minutes to go against Seattle. And now yesterday, 25 to the Giants. Now, 6 of those were off a pick six, so you sort of put that aside. But the Giants seemingly had no trouble going up and down the field. The Giants just struggled on fourth down. Props to the Eagles for getting the stops on fourth down, but this defense is going to let them down the playoffs. They're not good situationally. They will be a one and done. Because of the talent that they have offensively, I got to put the Eagles in here somewhere. They are the 10th best team in the National Football League. We got another team staying right where they are. At number 9, it is the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are the 9th best team in the National Football League, and here is why. So, Josh Allen's a remarkable talent. We know this. The Bills' running game, by the way, over the last few weeks in this winning streak for them has been nothing short of excellent. It's been the best it's been in the Josh Allen era in Buffalo. But once again, I do not trust this team when the money's on the line, when everything's on the line. They go to LA off a big win against Dallas, and this team seemingly cannot handle prosperity. They barely get out of SoFi Stadium with a walk-off field goal against Easton Stick at quarterback. Easton Stick. I still love the running game. I still think Josh Allen's a remarkable talent. As long as he cuts down the turnovers, which sometimes he can't help himself, but cut them down, cut out the reckless plays, I still love what this Bills team is and what they're capable of doing. I'm not a contender, though, because contenders give me greatness or even consistent good play consistently week to week, every week in the National Football League. I get that from the Buffalo. I don't get that, rather, from the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are the 9th best team in the National Football League. At number 8, actually dropping, despite a win, dropping a couple of spots this week because of some shifts and some teams moving up and down the list. The 8th best team in the NFL is the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are the 8th best team in the National Football League, and here is why. So, for Cleveland, listen, Joe Flacco has been one of the more remarkable stories in the NFL. I heard somebody say today, I heard a stat that Joe Flacco from 2020 to 2022 had won all 3 games total in the National Football League in the games that he started. This year, he's won 3 total, or 3 this year by itself. Joe's been excellent, had 3 touchdowns passing. Amari Cooper was awesome. 11 catches for 265 and multiple touchdowns against the Houston Texans. The Browns defense is nothing short of outstanding. I think I saw a stat that their average opponent passer rating is like 71, so not even league average. So the Browns defense is excellent. Myles Garrett is absolutely unblockable, and this Browns secondary is really good. But the limitations at quarterback, eventually you see Joe Flacco struggling at times with the turnovers the last couple of weeks. Teams will get film on Cleveland. Teams will ultimately figure out a way to stop Cleveland offensively. I love the weapons. And by the way, the notion that Kevin Stefanski should be fired was always a ridiculous notion by Cleveland fans. You're seeing that right now. He's a tremendous head coach. He's done a great job there. Given all the injuries in Cleveland, this is about the best they could have possibly hoped for. This makes me want to throw up in my mouth as a Steelers fan, but shout out to the Cleveland Browns doing what they've been doing, and they're going to be a playoff team and potentially be a tough out in the first round. The Browns are the 8th best team in the National Football League. At number 7, definitely the lowest they've been on Bryce's best 10, and they have been at the top before, but the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are the 7th best team in the National Football League, and here is why. So Kansas City, we know them as this explosive offense in years past with Mahomes, Kelsey, and others, but the fact of the matter is this. The receivers who were struggling with the drops earlier in the season now can't even separate. Now, that's a big, big, big red flag if you're a Chiefs fan, if you want to compete for a Super Bowl and go back-to-back this season. I'm still not selling my stock of the Chiefs because I think they've changed their identity a little bit this year because they've had to, because of their limitations at receiver. They still have a great defense. They still have the best quarterback and coach on the planet, and Travis Kelce is still productive from Sunday to Sunday. and I still like them situationally. The AFC a little bit topsy-turvy right now, so outside of Baltimore, it feels like the conference is kind of wide open. I know Miami's good, but obviously they beat Miami in Germany, so beat them on a neutral site. The game could potentially be in Kansas City or even in Miami in the playoffs. I still think the Chiefs are capable of a run, but if nothing else, guys, the receivers got to separate. You got to separate. That's why I got the Chiefs where I've got them. The Chiefs are the 7th best team in the National Football League. At number 6, the highest they've been on Bryce's Best 10. I put this team on this list 2 weeks ago when they had a losing record, and I'm being rewarded today. The 6th best team in the National Football League is the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are the 6th best team in the National Football League, and here's why. So Matthew Stafford, I've read the stats before, that he's top 5 in virtually every category this year, or not this year, but in this Rams streak. They start 3-6. They look dead in the water, look like about what we thought they'd look like coming into the season. 6-win team, 7-win team, kind of fight till the finish. Oh no. Matthew Stafford looks just as good as he did 2 years ago in that Super Bowl run. A big reason for that is because he's finally healthy. Sean McVay, we know, is one of the best offensive head coaches and head coaches in general in the NFL. Puka Nacua is having a fantastic rookie season. Because of the injury to Stroud, may actually end up taking Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is unfortunate for Stroud, but Puka's been outstanding. Obviously, I'm a big Cooper Kupp fan because he's productive when healthy and because he looks like me a little bit. And also, Kyron Williams has been an absolute steal for Les Snead in this Rams front office, and given what he's been doing, listen, the Rams offense is playing hot with confidence. The defense has some holes that can and probably will be exposed in the playoffs by a San Francisco or by a Dallas, and even by a Philly, at least the defensive offensive side of the ball. But I love where this Rams team is at. They have championship pedigree. They have an awesome head coach and an elite quarterback. They're good situationally, and given how they drafted the last few years, they've hit on virtually all their picks. They're going to be a problem for years to come. The Rams, the 6th best team in the National Football League. At number 5, moving up 3 spots from last week, it is the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are the 5th best team in the National Football League, and here is why. So, Tua Tagovailoa this year has had probably his best season, has a pass rating well over 100, and against a Cowboys defense that, listen, has had their moments from time to time, although they're struggling as of late. Tua went out there, led the game-winning drive, threw for almost 300 yards, did not turn the football over against the Cowboys. Tyreek Hill was effective throughout the day, nearly 100 yards receiving. Doesn't look like Tyreek is going to get to the 2,000 yards receiving mark, which is unfortunate for him unless he just absolutely goes off in the last 2 weeks of the season. He's fully capable of doing that, we know. The injury to Jalen Waddle is concerning to me to a certain degree, but I saw this stat today. The Dolphins, since that loss to the Buffalo Bills back in week 3, number 1 defense in the NFL. And some of that is because of the quarterbacks they played, but they played Dak Prescott on Sunday and held the Cowboys to 20 points. So you give credit to where it's due to the Miami Dolphins. I really like where they are offensively. Their ability to run the football consistently with Raheem Mostert and company has Miami fans with good reason, leaves Miami fans with good reason to be excited. Vic Fangio has changed this Dolphins defense. Jalen Ramsey, I was wrong about this when this trade happened over the offseason, but Jalen Ramsey, since coming back from injury, has changed this Dolphins defense in a very big way. The Dolphins are the 5th best team in the National Football League. At number 4, moving up a spot from last week, it is the Detroit Lions. The Lions are the 4th best team in the National Football League, and here's why. I don't know. We talk about all these loaded offenses. We talk about San Francisco. With Mark Andrews, we talk about at times the Baltimore Ravens. I just mentioned the Cleveland Browns. Heck, the Rams get a lot of credit for Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, and with Matthew Stafford and with Cooper Kupp when healthy, I don't think we give enough love to how loaded this Lions offense is. Jared Goff has always been one of the kind of a fringe top 10 guy. This year, he's certainly having a top 10 season. There's no question about it. Basically, everywhere you look, the stats, the numbers, the film. But you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who everybody didn't like that pick when they made that early in the first round when they did, because he was kind of a projected best case scenario mid-first round pick. They took him early in the first round. He has more than paid dividends. A monster game against a great Minnesota Vikings defense. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Sam Laporta, who's the best rookie tight end in the NFL that I've seen in a long time. And you have Jameson Williams, who's as explosive receiver as there is. And he has the best offensive line in the NFL. Like, this Lions offense is going to be very, very hard to stop, especially when they're playing indoors. That's why I think securing the 2 seed, I picked them to get to the NFC title game. If they get the 2 seed, I feel very, very good about their chances, even if they were to play a team like Dallas in the second round of the playoffs. That's why this game against Dallas on Saturday is huge for this team. Love where they're offensively. They would be higher if they had, throw out a team, if they have Miami's defense, which again, as I've said, has been number one in the NFL since week 4. So you got to factor that into consideration as well. I don't like what I'm seeing defensively. Nick Mullins had a rough game, and the Vikings still scored over 20 points and moved the ball with ease at times during this game. So, and by the way, missed out on a touchdown early on in that football contest. So I don't love where Detroit's defense is right now. I think I just kind of have to accept who they are on that side of the ball. Offensively, I have no problem accepting who they are. They are flat out stacked on that side of the ball. The Lions are the 4th best team in the National Football League. I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I don't care. At number 3, staying exactly where they are from a week ago, it is the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are the 3rd best team in the National Football League. By the way, I misquoted there. Moving up a spot from last week, the Cowboys, the 3rd best team in the National Football League, and here's why. For the same reasons that I've liked Dallas this whole time. They have an elite quarterback who played like an elite quarterback on Sunday. They have an elite receiver who, when Dallas schemed him into the offense in the first and fourth quarters, played like an elite receiver. And an offensive line that, if Tyron Smith's healthy, you think Dallas maybe wins that game? You don't think Bradley Chubb's going unblocked? You think Bradley Chubb's going unblocked that whole game if they have Tyron Smith for that game, which reports say he looks to be coming back this week against the Detroit Lions and Aiden Hutchinson? Like that, those things do matter. Now, this Cowboys defense has been really struggling as of late. Seattle went up and down the field on that Thursday night a few weeks ago. Buffalo ran the football very effectively against this Cowboys defense. And obviously, not just the last drive of the game where they gave up the drive for the walk-off field goal, but also the fact that almost all of Miami's drives ended in Dallas territory. That's why Jason Sanders made 5 field goals in the game. So for Micah Parsons, for this Cowboys defense, it's time to kind of put up or shut up. You got a huge, huge test against an elite Lions offense, as I just detailed, this upcoming week. But I like the Cowboys to potentially win the NFC for the same reasons I liked them beforehand. I'm not moving them just because of a loss to Miami, in which a couple plays go Dallas's way. They win the football game. Cowboys right now, the 3rd best team in the National Football League. At number 2, just dropping one spot. Let's not overreact. This is still an elite team. The San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are the best team, or sorry, the 2nd best team. But so used to saying the best team. The Niners are the 2nd best team in the National Football League, and here's why. So again, this is what I've been saying for weeks. This is absolutely, unequivocally the best roster in all of football. Even after that loss to Baltimore, I think it's the best roster in all of football. And I say, if Brock Purdy is the weak link of your team, you're in really good shape. Now, the weakness of the Niners, the weakness of Brock Purdy, heck, the weakness of Kyle Shanahan, when you look at the numbers, is playing from behind. Kyle Shanahan, I saw the stat, and it's hard to believe. When he's down 3 or more entering the 4th quarter in his head coaching career, Kyle Shanahan is 4-35. When trailing by 8 or more in the 4th quarter, he's never won, 0-38. So that's kind of been Shanahan's bugaboo, whether it's quarterback play, whether it's, I can't really figure it out because I see Purdy with the lead and he looks like Patrick Mahomes. Now, is he that? Is he an elite quarterback? Of course he's not. But is he bad? No, it feels like he's kind of in between. Purdy has a passer rating in the 120s when leading, a passer rating in the 80s when trailing. He's kind of in that mid-tier to Jared Goff tier. He's certainly not in the Jimmy Garoppolo tier. He's way better than Jimmy was in San Francisco by every metric imaginable. But this is what I've been saying for weeks. Even when I've had the Niners at number 1, their only weakness is they really can't play from behind. I still love this roster. They seem to be relatively healthy. Hopefully Trent Williams is okay, but I still believe the Niners. The Niners are the 2nd best team in the National Football League. And back at number 1, they were number 1 a few weeks ago, took them off due to that loss to Cleveland, but they're very much back, and in resounding fashion. It's undeniable. The Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the National Football League. Here's why. So, they have the MVP of the league as we sit here today, Lamar Jackson. He is more valuable to his offense today than any player in football, including Christian McCaffrey, including Tyreek Hill, including these days my man Dak Prescott, although Dak's having a great season, and even guys that have been mentioned like CJ Stroud and Josh Allen. Lamar, from start to finish, you brought in this new offensive coordinator. You've gotten the most out of Lamar Jackson. This Ravens defense continues to dominate, the number 1 scoring defense, I believe, in the NFL. And by the way, Lamar's doing this without Mark Andrews. They're well coached with John Harbaugh. Now, as I mentioned with the Niners, anytime I put them at number 1, their only weakness, they can't play from behind. I worry, can the Ravens play from ahead? I mean, there was a second there with Sam Darnold in the game when the Niners could have cut that thing to a 1-score game with 2 minutes to go with all their timeouts, and that game was far from over. So even in games where they physically dominate, there are teams that are capable of staying in it with them. But it's a little bit nitpicky. I love what this Ravens roster is. It's the best defense in the league, a top 5 quarterback in Lamar, and a top top 10 head coach in John Harbaugh. The Ravens, very deservedly so. I can't hate just because I'm a Steelers fan. I got to call it the way I see it. The Ravens are the best team in the National Football League. I can't lie. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.